It has happened. Donald Trump has won the presidency. We have talked about this all week. Now, I really want to kind of end this whole thing with the nonsense that's going on. And I want to focus on a Trump presidency. And there are some things that I'm liking. Other countries have called President-elect Trump up to congratulate him. And it seems like we will have good working relationships with these countries. I don't like who his choices of cabinet are. Let's just think about this, folks. Donald Trump said he was going to drain the swamp. Well, what did that mean? Did that mean drain the swamp of all politicians or drain the swamp of all the Democrats? Now, obviously, I wouldn't have been saying drain the swamp because you have to have some people that have had some political experience in the White House with you. It's just common sense. And your vice president doesn't cut it. You have to have other people around you. But the notion that Rudy Giuliani, who people look at Rudy Giuliani as such a hero, America's mayor, he was there for 9/11. Do we remember what Rudy Giuliani did to those homeless people in the 90s in New York City? Do we remember how he treated those people? And while we're on the subject of 9/11, do we also remember that Rudy Giuliani did not fund or give the NYPD or the FDNY the proper equipment? And cops and firemen went into those towers that day with faulty equipment because they couldn't get any equipment from Mayor Giuliani, America's mayor. If I have to hear one more time Rudy Giuliani say 9/11 and use that for his own political gain, I'm going to throw up. Chris Christie is just as well. I have never seen more of a disgusting, repulsive pig than Chris Christie. This guy is an animal. He's a moose. He's a moron. He's on the air with Charlie Rose the other day on CBS. And Charlie Rose asks him about Bridgegate. And Chris Christie can go, well, I don't recall him saying this to me, whoever it was. And Charlie Rose goes, so you're not going to say 100% this was never said. You're going to say, I don't recall. Yeah, I don't recall. The man is a liar, he's a cheat, and he's a terrible, terrible governor. And New Jersey hates him. They hate him. And for good reason. He's another one. Well, I was the attorney general. I was doing stuff on 9/11. I was doing stuff on that. Nobody cares. What did you do? I'm tired of Giuliani. I really, goddamn it, I'm tired of it. Yes, he was there. But you know what? What was he supposed to do? People go, oh, he's America's mayor. Okay. Yeah, he was around the clock. Okay. Wouldn't you wanted whoever the mayor was to do that? If it was Bloomberg, if it was de Blasio, wouldn't you have wanted your mayor to do that? And don't you think they would have done that in a time like that? I'm not taking, too much away from him, but let's be fair here. Let's be fair. To paint this picture of Rudy Giuliani to be America's mayor and that he was the hero, please stop it. Because more lives could have been saved if they would have had better equipment, which was not given to them by the mayor. He was too busy bopping some woman the girlfriend that he cheated on with his wife. And he's another one that he's gonna talk about Bill Clinton about ethics and being faithful. What are you kidding me? You ugly four-headed little moron. And then Sarah Palin, please. This dingbat has no clue. And they're saying, oh, she could be the Secretary of Interior. Does Donald Trump know that doesn't mean decorating, right? Does she know that doesn't mean decorating? Oh, well, see, those damn mooses, wow, I can see everything from here. Look at that. Oh, wow. She's an idiot. She's clueless. She's a moron. And Newt Gingrich, another disgusting, womanizing pig. The greatest question with Newt Gingrich is how the guy can get laid. Guy gets more pussy than Charlie Sheen. Oh my God. That's the biggest question in America is how Newt Gingrich can get laid. God almighty. Do me a favor, Donald. You already screwed up with your gay-hating vice president, who is evil. This man could turn out to be more evil than Dick Cheney. Please keep Rudy Giuliani and Newt Gingrich and Sarah Palin far away from your White House.
Nemacolin Woodlands Resort, where you can expect the unexpected.
And you know, while we're on the subject of 9/11, you know, I did a piece on my podcast a couple of months ago. Actually, I believe it was last year around the time of September 11th, that there were people taking selfies by the 9/11 memorial, and I thought it was just disgraceful and it was disgusting. And I called them to task on it. But something else about 9/11 has struck my eye a little bit, and I have to comment on this. And this will be brief, because it's not even worth talking a long period of time about, because it shouldn't even be happening. There are people out there. Donald Trump technically won the presidency on November 9th. And, you know, people woke up that morning that Trump was president. It was November 9th. So, what people are doing, because they're so creative and genius, is they are comparing 9/11 to 11/9 as one of the worst days in America. And some people say that 11/9 could be worse than 9/11. How do you say that to a parent or a wife or a husband or a brother or a sister or an uncle or an aunt or a friend that lost someone in those towers on that day? How can you possibly say that? Hillary Clinton called Donald Trump supporters deplorable on the campaign trail. This is the most deplorable thing, the most deplorable comparison that I've ever heard. It's disgusting. It turns my stomach every time I hear it. That this notion that 11/9 and 9/11, that they're the two of the same thing, and it's a horrible day for America and it's awful. How can you say that? How can you say that when the amount of lives that we lost on that day, not just in the World Trade Center, but across the country, and the injuries? How can anyone in their rightful mind? And I've had 4 people that have shared that meme on Twitter that I've unfollowed. I think 3 on Facebook that I've unfriended. And I'm not usually one of those guys, even though people have unfollowed me for... It's weird. People unfollow me when I say something good about Trump. People unfollow me when I say something bad about Trump, and vice versa with Hillary. Or if I have a Democratic view or a Republican view. Like I said, I am right down the middle. I'm independent. I don't know why everybody thinks that, you know, I'm a huge Donald Trump, you know, groupie and a Republican pom-pom cheerleader. That's not the case at all. I don't know why anyone thinks that, or why anyone would think that, you know, I'm a Democratic. I'm not. I'd like to think myself as an independent thinker, but I don't go for people unfriending people. We're not talking to them for their political views. But when you post something like that, and a disgusting meme like that, and just a disgusting, disgraceful, deplorable comparison, I will unfriend you, unfollow you, and disassociate myself with you. And I have to other people. So, you know, if you want to be disassociated by me, and if you're a follower of mine or I follow you, then go right ahead and retweet that or share it, because I'm just gonna block you, and I'll report it too, because it's out. It's disgusting, is what it is. Don't even have the right words for it. It's deplorable, as Hillary and the liberals might say. Back after this.
Do you really think this is the right thing for us to be doing, Ivana?
What will people think?
Let them talk.
Donald.
Ivana. It's wrong, isn't it?
But it feels so right.
Then it's a deal?
Yes, we eat our pizza the wrong way.
Crust first.
Introducing stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut. With a ring of cheese baked into a totally new, thinner crust, you'll want to eat it the wrong way. Crust first.
May I have the last slice?
Actually, you're only entitled to half.
Large, just $9.99.
Back on the Soriano podcast. And, folks, I want to know, and if you have a concern, I really want you to write it in our comment section here on YouTube. These people that I'm seeing, that there are suicide hotline numbers, that their business is going up, and there are more suicide people calling suicide hotline numbers because Donald Trump won the presidency. Folks, there is no reason to kill yourself or even think about killing yourself over someone being elected president. Let me try and reassure people, my friends that are scared and panicky of a Trump presidency. Number one, yes, there is a Republican-controlled Congress. So, the Republicans have the upper hand. And you're thinking, oh, they're going to pass everything Trump does. Not necessarily. The Republicans are stupid, but they're not that tasteless that if Trump has a tasteless idea or whatever, they're going to pass it. Remember, he's not a dictator. He does have Congress, and people can, not pass his laws. It could happen. You have a lot of Democrats in that Senate now and the Congress that will fight him tooth and nail. So, not everything that he wants is going to happen. That's number one. Number two. For my LGBT friends, I've seen Trump say transgender people can use whatever bathroom they want. He's gone on the campaign trail saying that he will be the right candidate for the gay community. If Donald Trump is now going to build a presidency on unifying everybody, then I really hope that he treats the LGBT community the right way. You have heard stories. You can't believe everything that you read on CNN and the New York Times or the Daily News or MSNBC, and rightfully so with Fox News and old conservative stations, Republican stations. You just have to keep an open mind. Me personally, BBC is the way to go. BBC is really the way to go. If you want the news, not slanted the way that the journalists want it to be slanted. If you have to worry about anyone, it is Mike Pence, who has just stupidly come out and said stupid things about gays and said that they could change back to heterosexuals. He just has no clue about the LGBT community. And I think that's someone that you have to really look out for, is Pence, and trying to get his anti-gay views, not Trump. And I don't think Trump can be swayed. And for my LGBT friends, I hope he doesn't get swayed. With Obamacare, you have heard already that he is looking to maybe keep it with some tweaks. I think that's a very good thing that him and Obama met. Because I think now they can lay their differences out there and go, okay, well, you know what? I don't think this works. Well, you know what? I know you don't think this works, but if we do it this way, if you can keep it that way, Trump is a very good businessman. He can cut deals. Yes, he's been bankrupt for it. I know that. Oh, he's bankrupt 4 times, but the man can cut a deal. He's a very good negotiator. And Obama's a good speaker and very persuasive. So you got the two of them in the room, who knows what will happen. So I wouldn't panic on Obamacare. To my Muslim friends, my Mexican friends, all this, there is not going to be a nationwide deportation where they're coming to your house, knocking on your door and saying, you, come with me. This will not be 1942 Germany. It just is not going to happen. I know CNN has painted a picture, and Rachel Maddow on MSNBC, about how this is going to work out. It's not what's going to happen. My thing is, give the man 100 days and see where we are in 100 days. But please do not take your life. Do not think about taking your life. Look at everything with an open mind. Please. And I know Trump was not the easiest person to like on the campaign trail. I am hoping that a lot of that stuff was just rhetoric to fire up the troops. But the thing is, he's going to have to answer to his hardcore supporters if he kind of backtracks on some stuff. Even though it may be good for the country if he does. And good for his presidency and his legacy. Do not panic. Laugh. Enjoy life. This man is not going to come in and on day one, day two, just throw people out of our country and start passing law. It's not going to happen. Relax. Keep an open mind. And I promise you, everything will be okay. Back after this.
With more than 70 degree and certificate programs at Hudson Valley, just imagine all your future possibilities. What do you want to be?
What's up?
Be anything. Be bold. Be a Viking.
So we're back to protests, and these aren't just protests, folks. These are riots. There's a difference between a protest and a riot. Protest is when you're protesting peacefully. I don't know if some of you people know what peacefully is, but it's when you are protesting peacefully. Riots is when people are getting hurt. We have seen on these past couple of days since Trump has been elected, Trump supporters getting the holy fuck beaten out of them. And it is wrong, goddammit. It is really wrong. You're throwing a temper tantrum. But, folks, need I remind you about the same people that are telling these people, grow up, how childish are they, give it up, why are they going nuts over this? These are the same people that have gone nuts over what a color of a dress was. For weeks this happened. These are the same people that cannot get over that a gorilla is dead. These are the same people that went nuts over a Reese's Christmas tree not shaped like a Christmas tree. These are the same people that went nuts over a Starbucks cup. And we're going to throw stones here? Now listen, I agree that the Trump protesters need to calm it down a little bit, curb it. You can protest. It's the beauty of this country. You can protest. I don't know why you would protest. Trump won the election, and I'll get into another segment about the electoral and the popular. But it's over. He will be our 45th president. You can protest at, it's the beauty of this country. You can protest. God bless you. But when you're sitting there rioting and you're beating up people and you're saying kill Trump supporters, that's disgusting. On the other side, the KKK is planning a rally in North Carolina. North Carolina GOP has condemned this. Donald Trump, if he wants any credibility, should 100% condemn this KKK rally in North Carolina. I don't know why he hasn't condemned it yet. He's got to know about it. He's on Twitter and on his computer every single goddamn day. You got to know there's a KKK rally going on in support of you. You gotta say no mas, distance yourself from it, condemn it, do whatever you have to do. But I think both people are being unfair here. These people again have gone nuts about stuff that are totally irrelevant, and these people are going nuts over the outcome of an election. I guarantee you, and I guess we'll get to the electoral and the popular stuff now. We won't break here. If Hillary Clinton would have won the electoral and lost the popular vote, I want to ask my Republican friends, would you have done the same thing that they're doing? Think about that. Donald Trump said, I will only accept the results of the nomination if I win. And we will never know, unless he loses in 4 years, we'll never know if he would have accepted those results if he lost. But if Hillary would have won the electoral, lost the popular, the Democrats and the liberals would have had no problem with the electoral college. It would have been the greatest thing on earth. That's hypocrisy number one. Hypocrisy number two is on the right, where would you people have done the same thing? Would you have been beating up Hillary supporters? Would you have been rioting in the streets? I guarantee you would have. Because you would have been like, this is what's wrong with the system. It's rigged. It's horrible. The electoral college sucks. I know you people would have done it. So, yeah, Clinton supporters need to calm down. People that aren't happy with Trump need to calm down. They shouldn't be hurting people, but they can protest. But, again, I ask my Republican friends, if the tides were turned and Clinton won the electoral and Trump won the popular, would you be protesting? The answer is yes. And if you deny it, you're just not being truthful with yourself. Back after this.
Watch the evening news, listen to the radio, or read the financial newspaper. What gets your attention? Is it the national deficit, the massive housing inventory, or the U.S. credit rating under fire? Take your pick, but the message is clear. The Fed's strategy of supporting low rates to stimulate the economy does not come without consequences. In order to attract foreign investments, interest rates must go up. If you've been considering refinancing or purchasing that new home, now is the time. Don't wait for these low rates to become history. At Westar Mortgage, we have the expertise to deliver what we promise. Whether you're looking for a traditional cost mortgage or a no closing cost loan, our licensed mortgage managers will find the right solution for you. Westar Mortgage, your mortgage manager for life.
Folks, we're going to close out this podcast today on a lighter note. What warms me about this week was seeing President Obama and President-elect Trump meeting together, and also First Lady-elect and First Lady Melania Trump and Michelle Obama meeting. There's no history, and there's no question that the history between Obama and Trump has been brutal. They've been trading verbal jabs at each other for years. Melania kind of plagiarized some of Michelle's speech, so that was pretty awkward. But those four people sat down with one another, and they were civil. And they were united. That's what this country should be. And speaking of unity, I feel so united when I'm with one person. Well, not like I don't feel united with anybody else. I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea here, but I feel very unified with my girlfriend. This woman is just unbelievable. And let me tell you a story. I don't think I've told the story yet. I know I've beaten the we first met and she didn't like me for 3 years deal. I've beaten that half to death. It was actually the 4th anniversary of that the other day, November 9th, 2012. Black and white party, TDO, at Cross Clipper. Anyway, I've beaten that story to death. I'm I'm not going to say that story for a long, long time. It's played out. But, so I got a new phone the other day. Wednesday morning. It was after Election Day. And my old phone was just spazzing the fuck out. I would text people, and it would start erasing the text. It would start literally putting in like hieroglyphics. I don't know what the hell it was putting in. It would hang up when I was on the phone with people. My boss, my girlfriend, my mother would just hang up. I'm like, oh my god, this is not good. People are starting to get the wrong idea. But I get this phone, and my girlfriend was coming back from somewhere. She worked that day, and she had something else that she was doing. So we're on the phone talking, and told her about the new phone and everything. And she goes, well, did you get a phone case for it? I said, no. And anyone that knows me knows that I'm a clumsy fuck, and I would probably have dropped it and broke it within the first day. So within about 10 minutes, she goes, where are you right now? I said, I'm upstairs. She goes, come downstairs. I come downstairs. She's parked in my parking lot. She comes to my house, takes my phone, and puts a phone case on it. Now, everyone's probably like, Chris, it's a fucking phone case. Fruitcake, relax, take it easy. But it's the thought that counts. And this woman is so good to me. And I couldn't tell you 4 years ago, if I would have told you this woman would be this good to me, I would have called you a fucking idiot. But she's just incredible. And being that we've talked about the election and politics this whole podcast, we have different agreements on some stuff about the election, and I don't think we agree with some stuff and disagree with some stuff on Trump. But we don't sit there and scream at each other. I'm fully convinced that past girlfriends have left me because they thought I was a diehard Republican, which is not the case. Every girl, maybe one was a conservative, but it's always a Democratic liberal that I'm dating. And it's always the politic conversations get real ugly real quick. But I can have a civil conversation with this woman. And as I sit here, and next Sunday actually will be 11 months, I can't say how lucky I am. And in a world that right now is divided, and I hope that President-elect Trump, and when he gets into office, President Trump, can do what he's saying and unite the country. We need to be united, a country united. Well, I hope he does, because right now we are divided. And some of the stuff I see on TV scares me. It really does. But when I'm with this woman, God damn it, I am the luckiest guy in the world. And nothing else really is sinking into my head except the moment of being with her. And another thing, she came to the 2 championship games that we had for the Blue Jays, and we won. And they really weren't warm nights, and she came. And she didn't have to. And sometimes, folks, I'm not used to it because, and this is not a knock, I'm not being that dickish ex-boyfriend. Because I know, there's certain people that still watch my videos. But this woman is really good to me. I've never had a woman be this good to me. Outside of my mom and my grandma. Outside of those. She is an amazing girlfriend. And I look at this and I say, my God, the past boyfriends that she's had, sucks for you. Your loss. My gain. She's an absolute treasure. And I just wake up and I'm like, the fucking world could be on fire. It could be fucking on fire. We could, the apocalypse could be happening. I'm just gonna get in my car, drive over to my girlfriend's house, and hold her. And sometimes it just always feels good. Always feels good. Again, I wanted to I wanted to close out the podcast on a positive note, not a sob fest, but she's wonderful. She's great. And I know people have criticized me in the past about talking about it because I talked about my previous girlfriends when I was at WSA, and they go, well, Chris, it's not a good look, because then, God forbid stuff happens, and you have to look back on that and look back at the tapes. It could be gut-wrenching. I'm confident that I'm with this woman for a long time, that I don't got to worry about that. She is an absolute gem, and I'm lucky to have her as my girlfriend. And while some of the country is pissed off with who's going to be the next president, the other half is happy. I'm just happy that I got the best girl in the world. Sports talk, promise you, and wrestling talk, and Survivor Series preview on our next podcast. Thank you so much for watching. It's the Chris Soriano podcast. Soriano out.